Hello everybody, this is Dr. Nazem Poor. Welcome to our YouTube channel, Simple Answer to Complex Questions. Today's episode is pretty fascinating because there are questions, the number of questions that is on our mind, and we are asking those questions randomly here and there. Why positive thinking and reading books are not enough? Let's just start with the positive thinking. We know about positive thinking. We are attempting every day to be positive, to be dynamic, to be proactive. We are encouraging work setting, in school, and in family setting that we got to be positive. Great advice. When we wake up in the morning with the intention that we want to have a positive day, we set our mind, even that we might not feel good, or we might have some difficulties to start our day and be positive, but still, we try hard and we pray, we meditate, and we set our mind to be positive. And that's a wonderful attempt. We all should continue doing that. But the question is that even that we have that mindset, but after an hour or two, or maybe a day or two, we are not continuing to be positive. With one distraction, one negative event, or maybe negative thoughts, we look like we start complaining, we start being negative again about different things that we are exposed to, and that becomes the question mark that, okay, I tried, I did my best to be positive, but seemed like I'm not going to be able to concentrate and focus on continuation of positive thinking. That's a question we need to answer, that even that the intention is good, but we're kind of drifting off from that intention, and we go back to the routine of complaining and basically not being positive about things that we are encountering or we are exposed to. So that's one thing that we want to hopefully find the answer for that question, why. And there's absolutely the answer for it, that is going to convince us that there's a better way to be positive and continue to be positive much longer time. Number two question is that why reading books are not good enough. We read good books and we should continue reading books. Reading books are, of course, give us a high level of education and knowledge, which is, as we know it, and they told us many times, knowledge is power. And there is no dispute about that. But the point of the matter is that when we read books, and of course, especially self-help books, which we go to library, we check out books, and these days, of course, we can buy books, we can go on internet and have access to unbelievable resources that we can access it quickly through the CDs, through the, of course, even going to the seminars, to workshops, and the knowledge is, infinite. And we are seeking the knowledge. We pick up a book, and we believe that by reading that book, we're going to have the answer to the question that we have. And of course, there's something puzzling in our life or something complex that we want to resolve it. And we seek out books and other, sources to resolve and find the answer for that question. And go in and read the books, and of course, we read so many of them. But by end of the day, all the advices that we receive through the book and through the workshops and seminars is not going to change the fundamental habits that we are not happy about. Of course, it's going to influence us. It's going to have some effect on our thinking and of course, in our behaviors. But the expectation is much higher. Especially those of us that we are more exposed to reading and listening and so forth. But again, that become another question, that why we are not achieving what we should achieve by having accumulated or having those kind of knowledge, accumulating those kind of information and knowledge. So yes, that continues, and of course, we say, well, I need to go and maybe have a longer time, more books, and definitely we go to therapy, we go to retreats, and we spend more time, we spend more money. Yes, there are going to be some changes, without a doubt. When we are exposing ourselves to sources of information, there is no doubt we're going to see some changes. in our life, in our unwanted behaviors and habits. But again, the depth of it again is not as deep as we are seeking and searching or expecting to have and to accomplish. That's another question that we need to definitely want to find an answer for that question. That even that reading book is highly, highly effective, and we need to continue reading books, but why we are not achieving all the things that we expecting to achieve from the books and from the, of course, listening to other people's sources of information that they're offering us. Number 3, question that is on our mind: why people, men and women, with the high degrees, that they went to school, they worked so hard, they achieved the degree that they intended to achieve, why still their behavior is not consistent with that amount of knowledge and information that they accumulated? We see that they are very good with what they do. They are very much specialized in what they do. And some of us and some of the people that we know that with a high degree, they are excellent at almost the perfect to what they in what they do. When it comes to daily life, personal habits, family and relationships, dealing with others, dealing with money, they are not as consistent. And the question is that, what happened to all those degrees of knowledge and information that that person accumulated, which is all respectful and wonderful that they did and they achieved. But so the question is that why not? Why not they're using those knowledge and information in everyday life? And that's the reason that we see that some people, they start criticizing, they start being negative about those people. And I know in some cases it might be justified, the question mark that they have, or they are critical of those people. But again, I don't recommend to be negative. And again, there you go again, we don't want to be negative. Why? Because there's a reason that those people with a high degree, sometimes they are not as consistent in their own daily life. And that goes along with the people who are successful in financial setting, of course, in business setting. And it's still, these people, they might not have a high degree, but again, they're very successful in what they do. And that's so much respectful for their accomplishment and the mindset and organization that they put into that achievement and of course, success. But again, question become pretty much the same question. Why people who are successful in business, they accumulate so much wealth with hard work and a lot of intelligence that they put into that achievement, why again the level of achievement in business and financial success is not consistent with their behaviors in everyday life, managing their own life, personal life. They are not having that level of self-control in their own personal life and their own personal habits. And of course, when we look at the relationship and family, we see that they are not as consistent, and that becomes another question. Question number 3: why religious people who are spiritual and they believe in the religion that they believe in, they are not consistent in their behaviors and everyday life with the teaching and learning of a religious principle? It's wonderful to follow a religion, follow a faith. It's so good. We all need to have faith in something, and religion is one of the ways that we can have faith, we can practice our faith in everyday life. The people that we are looking at, a portion of population that they are religious, but of course, they read their holy book, they go to religious ceremonies, they might sometimes, of course, daily read the holy book every day, and they might even, of course, pray every day. But when we see their behaviors and action in outside of the religious ceremonies, they're not consistent with what they've been reading and believing in. And that becomes another question, that why people who are men and women of the faith and the religion that they believe in, but they are not as consistent that they expected or we expected, and that becomes another question mark. Yes, again, some people criticize them, which we don't want to do that, because again, there is a reason behind inconsistency in religious belief that people carry and the behaviors in everyday life. So let's kind of put those questions aside. Now let's look for the answer. The answer is that, of course, as we said, it is within us. We can search the answer within our own self. The main thing that we need to do is searching for any kind of a question mark and answer that we're seeking is question number one. Who am I? Do I know who really I am? And of course, when we start taking that journey of self-discovery and understanding who we are, majority of answer will come to us. Of course, we need to be honest. We need to have high level of clarity. And we need to have a powerful intention. When we recognize that I'm not consistent, there is a level of inconsistency in my behavior and action and thoughts and ideas when what I express that who I am. So we see that inconsistency, and that's the time that we should be the first person to recognize that inconsistency. And for that, of course, that becomes self-awareness. When we become self-informed and a higher level of self-awareness and consciousness, then the answers start coming to us. When we get in that level of mindset and high level of intention that we are exercising, then number one journey that we want to take is that we want to take on a purposeful life. Having goals are wonderful, but in order to really go to the higher level of self-awareness, we need to have a purposeful life. What is your purpose? What is each one of us' purpose in life? Personal goals and personal achievement are wonderful, but of course, we need to have a purposeful life, which is going to be much beyond and much higher than who we are and who we want to be. We need to extend ourselves from our intention that we have for our own well-being and expand it to other people, to the universe, and make it more global. After we design a purposeful life, then we need to have high emotion. We need to be passionate. We need to have a burning desire. A lot of us, we have some level of purposeful life. Of course, again, that is wonderful that we have. But because of a lack of high emotion, which is the engine of our success in anything that we take on, then we are not having that high passion that we need to have. So that's number two. After forming a purposeful life, we need to, of course, add the level of passion that is needed. Number three, that we need to really take on that goal, that we need to, go through it and make this, a journey. We need to have commitment. We need to make commitment. Now we have a purposeful life. We have a passion and high emotion and burning desire. Then we need to really make commitment to being more consistent, being more unified within our own self with all the knowledge and information that we have and accumulated, and be consistent in implementing those knowledge and information in everyday life. So that's the one aspect of journey that we want to take to find the answer and become more unified. But again, we're going to take it beyond that. We're going to take it further. In order to take it further, of course, we need to go to two parts of our mind. We all know that we have subconscious mind and conscious mind. Subconscious mind is an infinite database. As soon as we enter to this planet, even 2 or 3 months before we enter to this planet, our subconscious mind starts forming. And all the senses that we have start collecting data and information. And of course, from mom and dad, coaches, teachers, and other people that we are exposed to, we learn everything that almost we need to learn to become a functioning human being. So they teach us beliefs, ideas, how to do, what not to do. They teach us, mannerism, behaviors, actions, thoughts, and ideas. And those are the wonderful things that we learn from those people, and we are thankful that they teach us everything that we want to know and we need to know to become a functioning individual in society. But we know that along the way of learning all those wonderful beliefs and ideas to make us a functional human being, there are a lot of wounded emotion that we accumulated also too. Depends on our life and circumstances that we are exposed to in our childhood. We all have a level of wounded emotion, more or less. Those wounded emotions, are, of course, are part of our unconscious mind, subconscious mind. And when we look at our behaviors in everyday life, there are some good things, of course. Infinite, information and sources of knowledge and information are hidden in our subconscious mind. That is unbelievable source of answer for almost everything that we are seeking for. But again, those wounded emotions also are the source of distraction, discomfort, anxiety, depression, anger, frustration, ego, and we can go on and on and on. They are very distractive and sometimes destructive. So knowing that, of course, we need to understand that the speed of the subconscious mind is the speed of the light. It's pretty high speed internet. That's something that we got to know it from the beginning, because what we want to accomplish to expand our conscious mind. And the second part is the conscious mind. Scientists, including high-level biologists and psychologists, they believe that 95% of things that we do in everyday life are coming from the subconscious mind, are guided by subconscious mind. Basically, in a simple way, we are a slave of subconscious mind. It's a habitual life that we're living. In order to change this equation and make our life become more conscious, then we need to become much more self-informed and have a higher level of self-awareness. That's the time we say who I want to become much more clear to us. When we know who we want to become, then it means that we're moving from subconscious to the conscious mind. And we can expand it, but again, the reality is that, based on the research, conscious mind is not really a high-speed internet. Comparing to the subconscious mind, the speed of conscious mind is much, much lower. That's the reason that even that we have a good intention to be who we want to be, but is not consistent and is not a long term, because the speed of subconscious mind is much, 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 much higher. And that's the reason that before we know it, we are moving from conscious mind to subconscious mind, and subconscious mind is taking charge. And as we said, there you go again. We are not consistent. And that becomes a major issue that we all are facing. We go up and down and high and low, and sometimes we surprise our own self why I'm not able to be who I want to be. But if you really know this phenomenon of subconscious and conscious mind, and you continuously, day by day, hour by hour, we practice to build the conscious mind, then I think it becomes much, much easier. As soon as we recognize these two parts, subconscious and conscious mind, knowing that subconscious mind is an infinite source of information and database, then we know that in order to build the conscious mind, we need to be much more informed, much more present, much more self-informed. And of course, knowing all of that, that's wonderful, but we need to practice and practice and practice and practice. Subconscious mind is a tape recorder. It's been recorded from the beginning of our life on this planet. And the data and information that is stored in the subconscious mind are not our information, are not our database. They're beliefs and ideas that was given it to us by other people. So we need to know that. When we say this is who I am, it doesn't mean this is who really I am. It means this is who they told us to be. So in order to become who really I am, I need to build my conscious mind. So with that knowledge that we have, it gives us, a much more, open hand, and definitely much more power to be more conscious, to have more purpose for life, higher purpose for life, and higher burning desire, and much more commitment to build the conscious mind. And then I think become much more consistent. And we need to realize that in order to take that wonderful journey of building the conscious mind, we need to change our beliefs and ideas. It's all about beliefs. Everything that we do, every small to big action and behavior that we present into other people and to ourselves, the foundation of that is one belief or many beliefs. There are fundamental beliefs, and there are small beliefs, little simple beliefs that is guiding us. That we need to recognize each one of those beliefs and ideas, and then reprogram it, redirect it. So beliefs and ideas are foundation of our thoughts and of course our action. So in order to change the habits, change the behaviors, be more consistent, you need to absolutely change our beliefs. And then when you change your beliefs, your thoughts will be changed, and your behavior and action and habits will be changed. And that's the way that we can be in charge. That's the way we can say, this is who I am. And from that point of view, and from that moment, we can be more positive and much more longer time. We can read the books and listen to other people, sources of information and knowledge that they're giving it to us. And we can use it, and we can practice it, and of course, take it inside and change our existing behaviors. And then reading books or listening to all these wonderful people, and of course retreat and therapy and all of that become much more effective. And of course, then we see that people with a high degree and people who are financially successful in business and other journeys that they take, they become much more consistent. Because now we are self-informed, self-aware, and now we can monitor our subconscious mind and we can make it conscious with a high intention and a high commitment. And of course, when we enter to that new planet, new way of thinking, then of course, the ultimate step that we have to take, we need to practice and practice and practice. We need to give it, almost, 1 to 3 months to change any habits. It's not really that long. With this new way of thinking, with this new instruction and formula, absolutely we can become more authentic, more honest, and definitely with a higher level of consistency and integrity. And I invite you, take that journey, and I will take it with you. And thank you for being with us, and thank you for following those goals. And definitely, with doing that, we're going to become a better individuals, and we're going to hopefully pass it to other people and help the community to become a better community. Thank you.